So much time of raising a child is helping that child through their education process. Interestingly, both of you all stated a similar word, not a similar word, the exact same word. You both used the word freedom in your remarks. That, for one, is what Texas is all about. We believe in freedom in the state of Texas. So we all know that a very essential part of freedom is the freedom that parents must have as the people most responsible for their child's education. Parents need freedom in helping educate their own children. Let me be abundantly clear. Public education plays a vital role in our state. I went to public schools here in the state of Texas my entire education life. And I'm proud to say that many of the schools that we have in the state of Texas are outstanding. Texas ranks #1 in the United States for the most blue ribbon schools. We have one of the best high school graduation rates in the entire country. There are so many bragging rights that we have about our schools. It makes me proud to be governor of this great state. And I want to add this. I have provided more funding for public education than any governor in the history of our state. I've provided more funding for teacher pay raises than any governor in the history of our state. Today, Texas is providing per student funding at an all-time high. And I can tell you, going into this legislative session, we will ensure that we increase funding more for public education and that we increase teacher pay raises even more. But all that being said, I think we all recognize that whatever category we're talking about in life, it would be wrong to say that more money always leads to better results. We've seen that in so many different ways. We saw it surface very prolifically during the time of COVID. And we saw exposed the way education worked is just different than it was like when I was growing up. I grew up in public schools, first in Longview and then in Duncanville, Texas. And when I was going to school, I was taught the basics, reading, writing, math, and science. But maybe most importantly, we were inspired. We were inspired by our country's founding and how the United States of America stands apart from the rest of the world as the beacon for liberty and opportunity in the entire world. But the truth is that many children today are not being educated the way that you and I were educated. And I gotta tell you, I hear so many frustrations from so many parents across the entire state of Texas about it. Some parents are still angry that their children were forced to wear masks when they went to school. Others are even angrier that their children were forced to learn from home. And then in front of their very own parents' eyes, the parents were watching their children fall behind, trying to learn virtually, which their children were incapable of doing. Other parents have been astonished that their child's teacher would not work with them to address the individual and the unique needs of their children. But more and more, this kind of first seemed to surface during the time of COVID, but it seems to have grown prolifically even after COVID. Parents are angry about woke agendas being pushed on their children. Let's make one thing perfectly absolutely clear. Schools are for education, not indoctrination. Schools should not be pushing woke agendas on our kids. We must reform our curriculum. We must get kids back to the basics of learning. And we must empower parents if we are going to be successful in education. Whether in public or private school, parents deserve access to curriculum, to school libraries, and to what their children are being taught. And we will do that. We will do that with the Parental Bill of Rights that I rolled out last year. The fact is that no one knows what is better for a child's success than their parents. When it comes to education, parents matter, period. And as a result, parents deserve education freedom. Without it, parents are hindered in their ability to help their own children be able to succeed. That must change, and it must change this year in the state of Texas. And the way to change it is with school choice through state-funded education savings accounts. We've seen these programs work extraordinarily successfully in other states, and we've actually even seen it work right here in the state of Texas. I created education savings accounts for special needs students, and the legislature liked it so much they passed a law with bipartisan support and a supermajority passed it into law, making sure that it would continue. And in fact, now this session, they're working to increase funding for that program. Now what we need to do this session is to expand that program to provide every parent in the state of Texas with the ability to choose the education option that is best for their child. To be very clear about one thing, under the school choice program, all public schools will be fully funded for every student the same way they are now. And something else is very important. If you like this approach, you're not alone, because here are the facts. If you're a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent, majorities of each of those support school choice for kids. If you're black, white, or Hispanic, a majority of them support school choice for kids. If you're in urban areas, suburban areas, or rural Texas, majorities in each of those three areas support school choice for their kids. This is so vital to the future of our state, I made it an emergency item this legislative session. But let's be clear about something. This isn't something for the people in Austin, Texas, and the Capitol to be focused on and think that it gets done. The only way anything gets done, really, is a movement through the people, by the people, for the people. And that's where you come in. School choice is not going to happen on its own. It's going to happen because you get involved and you do something about it, as much as I'm going to do something about it. And that means that you need to be working with your legislators, working to ensure everyone understands the time for parental empowerment is now. The time for education freedom in Texas is now. And you have to get involved in that process. Let me close with a quick personal story that connects it to why we're here tonight. Many of you, probably most of you, may know what happened to me personally in my life. Through the first 26 years of my life, I could walk and run just like most everybody in this gym here tonight. When I was 26 years old, my life changed forever. When one day I was out running, and a big tree crashed down onto my back, fractured my vertebrae and my spinal cord, leaving me immediately paralyzed and never able to walk again. And I can tell those who haven't heard this before because you're shaking your heads wondering, how slow was that guy jogging to get hit by a falling tree? But here's the point, and then the connection. The point is, losing the ability to walk, I could have given up. I could have quit. I could have done nothing. But I realized something, and that is our lives are not defined by how we're challenged, but instead by how we respond to those challenges. And it was after the accident that left me in the wheelchair that I went on to become a Supreme Court Justice, the Attorney General, and now Governor of the great state of Texas. But let me connect that concept with everybody in this room tonight. We need to understand, all of us, you as individuals, you as family members, us as a state, we're all challenged to ensure that we provide a better education for all of our kids in this state. We can sit back and do nothing about it and let nothing happen. Or we can decide to determine our own destiny by us getting involved and getting engaged. You have the ability to determine the destiny of school choice in this state. I need you to stand up, stand with me, and fight with me all the way to get this done for the kids of the great state of Texas. Before I pass tonight, because this is such a special and unique day right here at the Central Texas Christian School involving Parent Empowerment Night. I brought with me a proclamation to give to your principal in recognition of this very special day. So to Brittany Russell, if I can bring you up here, this is for you. Congratulations.